everybody wants to be successful, no matter who you are. You may be a pastor, a businessman, you work in a corporate space, you're a teacher, whoever you are, and whatever you do, there's at least some part of your life that you want to be successful. And that's what we do. Welcome to the Sim Podcast. My name is Oxford and I'm here with
Mioto Mensa.
All right, let's get straight into it. Mindsets are everything. A good mindset will help you to achieve your dreams. A bad mindset will prevent you and cripple you from even trying. Today we are talking about mindset and everything you need to know about mindsets. Sammy, you have a psychological background. As a clinical psychologist, what do you think is the role that mindsets play in people achieving their goals and their dreams?
All right. Thank you very much. So generally, when you look at our lives as individuals, a factor that plays a very important role in whether or not you are going to succeed as an individual has to do with our mindset. Yes, there are other factors that we can consider, but I think the mindset plays a very integral role. So the mindset on its own has to do with the set of your beliefs, the set of your beliefs, your cognition, your assumptions, your perception generally about yourself, about your abilities, about your strengths, your weaknesses. And these factors come into play with how you assess yourself, whether or not you can achieve A or B, and even how you approach the things around you, how you deal with your environment. So mainly it's more like a set of attributes, a set of factors that are either working for or working against you. Generally, in the psychological space, we have this theory that's the cognitive behavioral theory. So the name speaks for itself. Your cognition, your behavior. So it's a theory that marries your cognition, your thought processes, your belief patterns, and how they affect your behavior as an individual.
Okay.
So our behaviors are not distinct from our thoughts.
So what you think or what you constantly think about is only a matter of time. You will begin to manifest it.
Definitely. So our thoughts about ourselves, about situations, about people are let's take it as a seed. And the moment you plant a seed in the soil, that soil represents the mind. So whatever thoughts you plant in your mind will grow. You feel so attached to it. So the bigger question is, what idea, what thoughts, what belief are you obsessed with? Like you rightly said, it's just a matter of time. So the more you believe in that belief, in that thought, in that idea, it's just a matter of time for it to materialize.
When we look in our society, it's obvious to look at people who have succeeded. And there is this pattern. For example, if you take 10 people who are successful across different fields, you realize that they have a certain mindset. And of course, the people who fail all the time, who have not even attempted to achieve anything, they also have a certain kind of mindset. So my question, or what I've been thinking about, is that are certain people born with certain propensities, like they are born with this biological proclivity, to think in a strong way or to have a positive outlook, or mindset is something you build or you shape it yourself or your environment shapes it for you, or are people born with it?
Great. So I think there's a never-ending argument when it comes to our behavior in general. So we have the nature conversation, where one school of thought is of the view that as an individual you are born with certain inherent traits.
Okay.
Like biologically, psychologically, you come to the world with certain traits. Then that's the nature. So they are looking at it from the nature perspective. Then there is a nurture that believe that as an individual you come into the world with a blank slate.
Okay.
That's what they refer to as the tabula rasa. a blank slate. So it is the result of your interaction with your environment that determines your behavior, that shapes you. So it takes us back to the issue of the mindset, whether or not people are born. Yes, personalities are different. Our personality plays a role. There are people who are naturally open to challenges. There are people whose personality allow them to accept challenges and work towards it. And there are people who are naturally,
They easily give up.
yes, easily they are prone to worry, giving up easily, and all that. Those things are there. But looking at it from the bigger perspective, we want to treat mindset as the way you are addressing your physical health,
Okay.
fitness. If you want to gain muscles, I mean, you don't just sit and expect you to have the broad chest and all that. You have to put in some work, and that's how the mind
But
works.
I mean, even that with the example of the muscles, right?
Yeah.
You have two people,
Yes.
two young men, and all of them want to build muscles. I mean, they dream about it, they talk about it, and all that. And then one day, one wakes up and all of a sudden decides to hit the gym.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah.
The other person still talks about it, but there's no commitment.
Exactly.
So that is when, I mean, I like to think about it. Okay, why did this person decide to go to the gym? Is it because biologically he's stronger or mentally stronger than the other person? Or it's not really about the biological composition, it's just about sheer will, decision making.
Exactly. So that we'll have a deeper conversation on the difference in the mindsets maybe later in our conversation. But then what we can say is, if you don't believe in something strong enough, I don't think you have that will to even take action.
No, let's state that again. State that again.
If you don't believe in an idea strongly enough, if a thought about something is not strong enough,
It can't influence you to make a decision.
exactly. See, as we sit here, I'm sure we all have, certain ideas, certain thoughts, certain outlooks, certain results that we want to achieve. As we are sitting here now, there are things we want to do. But the question is, do you even believe you have what it takes to achieve that?
So it starts from
The belief, the thought. How strong is
are
that
you
thought?
convinced.
Exactly, the
I mean,
conviction.
A clear example is Elon Musk.
Mm.
When he sold his shares in PayPal,
Yeah.
and then he started SpaceX with the vision to send people to Mars. Of course, that was a long-term vision, which still is a long-term vision. But in order to achieve that, he had to first of all send a rocket into the Earth's orbit. And this guy failed constantly in front of the eyes of the world.
Yeah.
He was ridiculed because the shuttle would blow up, he kept failing and failing. And yet still,
He didn't give up.
so you look at people like that, and I think it comes back to what you're saying. It's just they believe in it.
Because if you have a belief in something, let's not even go further. Let's come to our dealings with the opposite sex, our relationships. There are times you identify somebody, you think, oh, I mean, this somebody I would want to, have some kind of friendship with. You knock at the door once, twice, the door is shut at you. It's not what happens to you that is the problem. And I like this from the Stoic philosophy that what happens to you is not actually the problem. The actual problem is how you deal with what happens to you.
Yeah.
So the quality of your thoughts, if you believe in something, if you are convinced in achieving a particular goal, it's just a matter of time, irrespective of the number of obstacles that come your way. And that is what tests the quality of your mindset about a particular goal, a particular outcome.
So the challenges that come from a belief system is what tests the quality.
Exactly.
You know, and I think there is a clear example of that I think in scriptures
Mhm.
where Jesus is talking about a parable, and then he's talking about a farmer goes to sow seeds. So he scatters the seed, and some fell on good soil, some fell on bad, some fell on gravy soil. And there was one particular one that I think the gravels where it sprang up, but then all of a sudden it withered.
Yeah.
And then when Jesus was interpreting, he says that there are people who believe an idea. The moment they hear it, they believe the idea, but they don't bear root in it enough. So whenever challenges come,
just blow them off.
They just give up. And I think it comes down to it. There are a lot of people who start business. Like they have a business idea, they believe in the idea, then they start quickly.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it doesn't. In the next 3-6 months, it doesn't go the way they thought it would.
It to go.
Yes, and all of a sudden, so it means that the quality of their belief, just like what you're saying, there was no quality.
Exactly. And let me take you back to the therapy room. Most of the psychological therapies out there are deeply rooted in changing the mindset, changing the thought patterns. If you know that this thing, well, let me just try. I mean, so 1 or 2 challenges, and you are like, oh, a self-fulfilling prophecy. I mean, I told you guys this thing won't work. So have you asked yourself why people keep going at chasing at a particular thing for years?
Yeah.
It's the strength of the quality of their thoughts.
And you see this a lot of times in the multimedia industry. You see a lot of rappers, a lot of musicians, actors and actors who talk about how they were rejected many times. How their songs were not hitting, but for some reason,
exactly,
because they believe in either they believe in themselves or but whatever it is, just like you're saying, there is that quality. I want us to wrap up, but before we do, we live in a society in Ghana, of course. Would you say that if somebody growing up in Ghana and somebody growing up, let's say in UK or in US, with all our prevailing circumstances, what is the probably what kind of mindset do you think an average person in Ghana will have, and the mindset an average person outside Ghana will have?
It largely depends on where you are growing up. Because from a lot of the books I've read on mindsets and the power of thoughts and all that, the importance of the environment has always been there.
Yeah.
You may have a growth mindset, but the only limitation you have is your environment.
So personally, you would have a growth mindset.
Yes, you may try,
but your environment can cripple you.
Exactly.
Okay.
You are in Ghana, somebody is in the US and all that. Growing up, I grew up to a point where I was made to believe that, you just have to go to school, study hard, get a government job, you get a bungalow, if you're fortunate, you get a car.
You're good for retirement.
You're good, you retired, and
they pay you allowances every month. You died.
You can't blame anybody for that, because that is the kind of environment you find yourself in. I wanted to be a medical doctor, like so bad, but
I understand.
So you understand. So the environment you find yourself in largely affects or influences the quality of your mindset. If you grew up in a family where there are lawyers, medical doctors, and all that, I mean, it's easier for you to pick up the mindset of venturing into any of those professions than somebody who just grew up in, a village somewhere where it's just masonry and all of those, peasant jobs that are ongoing.
All right, Timothy, thank you.
Yeah.
So guys, we have to wrap up, but this is a series. We're going to do another video talking about mindsets. Moto Mensa is still going to be here. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that when we release that video, you can get access to it. Please like and share it to a friend so that it will be a blessing to them. Thank you and have a wonderful time.